Living on Victor was a little bit different experience. Looking back on it now, Don Brown was an only child. I don't know if y'all knew that or not. How many of you knew Lewis Brown, Don's daddy? Don was just like him. So I had the fortune of growing up on Mill Hill. Like, he was on 21st Street, we were on 20th Street, just right down. But Lewis Brown used to crack me up even as a small child. I can remember he was absolutely hilarious, individual. Funny, got a great sense of humor, and told stories all the time. He smoked pipe all the time. And he'd sit with that pipe in his mouth, tell some of the funniest stories you ever heard in your life. Never a dull moment in the news. And then right next door to him was the Bradleys. F.C. Will. Let's see if I can name them all. Gerald, Mickey, Barbara. Wilton, that's the one I was trying to think of.
Good coon dogs too.
Yeah. So there's 6 of them living in a 4-room house with 1 bathroom. Right, and right close to you, I can't remember exactly where the Hawkins live. There's what, about 7, 8 of them in that house. And anybody know what House Cat's real name was? Tommy. Anybody know what Gopher's real name was? Steve Gopher. Anybody know what Duck's real name is? James Bond. That's where the duck came from. So, our mama had 3 of us. Me, Duck, and Joe. And that was a handful. As I said, a long time ago, somebody probably out knew it anyway, but our mom was a single mom before it was fashionable. And, she worked in the mill in Appalachian for years and years, and then she transferred over to the Greer Mill before she retired. Don was over on the cell phone. Don, after my mama died, Don mentioned that our mama was basic, and she was. She was raised in a big family. When I grew up, there were aunts and uncles and cousins always at the house. I mean, it was just total chaos all the time growing up. So we had lots of role models growing up. And Buddy mentioned just now he was kind of a role model on Mill Hill, and I can remember that. He was a real good role model for me growing up. Always took care of the younger kids, and always helped out in any way he could. Everybody helped everybody out. Okay, we still got folks lined up top. Who's gonna go next? You got to retaliate?
Well, I got my finger in the right place.
Ron Brown.
Buffalo man.
Can't believe you've done that to me, bud.
I figured you would retaliate.
I might.
But I never did have a problem asking girls to dance. There was something that I had for I had a little problem with, but I did done it anyway. I'd go ahead and ask. Everybody come down here, and I didn't go back there and see. They mentioned Miss Lynn, I didn't go back there and see her. Cause I know if I went back there, I'd stay back there with her. That's a good woman. I love her. She's just like a mama to me. Used to hit me in the head every once in a while, even though I didn't need it. Got storytellers down here tonight, and telling stories, I think it's probably about the best way you can communicate. They say that a picture's worth 1,000 words. And I agree with that sometimes. But you ain't got pictures of things like Buddy talked about in the past, down on the hill and stuff like that. And you can't show your kids or your friends or your family what you're thinking about. But if they look at you and you telling a story and you smile and laugh, or a tear runs down your cheek, or you choke up, they know how you felt back then. They know what's going on. And a story is a wonderful way to communicate. And we all like things you tell a good story, but that ain't always true. There's some people you just love to hear them tell a story, and then there's some people you can't wait till they get through telling the story. You wish they'd held up. And if you tell a story, you got to remember there's some people out there that they don't care what you've seen, where you've been, or what you've done. We just don't care, and they don't want to hear. But down here tonight, everybody come down here to hear a story, I guess, unless your wife just made you come down here and you don't come. If that's the case, just bear with me. You know, they were dreaming, and let's try to get through this. But I feel like I can tell a pretty good story. But saying that, I gotta say this, and I hate to say this, but it's the truth. If you find somebody that's a pretty good storyteller, they probably a pretty good liar. And well, now, just cause you're a good liar, it don't mean you are a liar. You know, Chuck Norris, he's probably a pretty good killer, but he probably ain't never killed nobody. You know, just cause you got the capabilities, it don't mean you do it, and it don't mean you're a big liar. But you just remember when these storytellers get up here tonight, if they do tell you a lie, you probably don't believe it, because they're pretty good at it. You know, you got to watch it. But that's the way it goes. We talk about stuff like that, and some people just lie, and they ain't no good at it. They ain't no good storyteller. They tell lies, and they be liars, and everything. I have a cousin, he lied so much, his mom didn't believe nothing he said. And when I was born, before I learned how to talk, I learned how to lie. That's the truth. Now, when you raised on the mill here, they wasn't none of these disposable diapers and stuff like that then. I mean, you had that old rough cloth, and when they cleaned your diapers, they washed them and hung them out on the line, and they dried. And when they took them off the line, you could pick them up on one end, and I mean, it was like a rick-rack paddle, it's flat. And when they put them things on you, it's rough. And I mean, you're just a little baby, you learn how to lie, you be laying there in bed, and your mama come by, and you know, she said, "Don, did you do a stinky?" I couldn't even talk. I'd shake my head, because when they changed your diaper back in, your mama would grab you by the leg and throw you up on a flat surface. It didn't have to be the bed. It didn't have to be a tabletop. It might be the banisters or a car hood or something like that. It'd throw you down on it. And you had them big old long safety pins in there. You know, they'd undo them things and jerk them loose. And she'd take her left hand and grab your left ankle and pull your butt up off the floor. And then she'd get one of them wash rags and dry it out on the line. Had all of that terry cloth stuff and knots is sticking out on it. And she would wipe off everything that wasn't supposed to be there. Pull on that thing. And sometimes she'd pull on something that was supposed to be there. You know, it was rough. Get a diaper change. You learn how to lie early. And you lie about it. And when you get in the habit of lying, it's hard to get out of that. The other night, me and Sherry was at the house, and we eat some butter beans and onions and cornbread, and then we went downstairs watching the football game. And about the end of the second quarter, I looked over at Jerry. I said, "Did you do a stinky?" She ain't said nothing. She just shook her head, you know. And there wasn't but 2 of us in the room. And both of us know who was telling the truth, you know. One of us felt the truth, the other one felt relief. But you go through that. I mean, that's just like you go all the way through life. And stories is a wonderful way of communicating. And it's like Buddy was talking about television. We got television, we got these Bluetooth, satellite radio, computers. There's all kind of ways to communicate. And television, and he mentioned Judge Judy. I'm hooked on Judge Judy. I love that hateful old woman. I mean, she's something else. But I don't know if y'all seen it or not, but you need to watch Maury. I don't know what his last name is, Maury Pojak or something like that. But the whole show is devoted to finding out a baby who his daddy is. They're doing DNA. And they got people on there, go up there and, well, there was a woman on there, her name was Shanaka. And Shanaka was on Maury. And when she got on there, Maury said, now, Shanaka said, why are you here today? And Shanaka said, Maury, said, the reason I'm here today, he said, Roscoe, my husband, he's making some remarks and discriminations against me about our children. So we got 8 children. And said, Roscoe said number 8 ain't his. Number 8 is touchdown. We named number 8 touchdown because we thought that that might help him get a scholarship, get an education. And we know that a scholarship is important to anybody that wants to get in the NFL. So we want him to go on and get a good education. But anyway, we got 8 children, and I know touchdown is here too. Now number one baby, I ain't positive about him, but now, when the number 1 was born, me and Roscoe had been married 3 months. Of course now, Roscoe is strong in the running.
Where are you going?
For being the daddy of number 1, because Roscoe been on the playing field as much as anybody else had, you know what I'm saying? But I was experimenting with some under-the-counter drugs and some of that Boone's Farm wine, and I was kind of loosening the leg back then. So there is some doubt on number 1. But number 2, 3, 4, and 5. They definitely rock. They look just like Roscoe. They all got them big watermelon heads and little bitty ears and big wide feet and little short fat toes. They was just him and Roscoe. Roscoe can't name them. That's what they said. One of them is a passing lane, toe blue, side swipe, and in the ditch. That's what they named them. We named them about Roscoe been watching the National Geographic and outdoor stuff. That's what we put them on. So we always name our children about stuff like that. But stories is a wonderful way to communicate. And that's why I'm down here tonight. Everybody wants to talk about stuff that happened in Greer. Showing up, y'all feel confident if you watch Maury and watch Shanaka and Roscoe, y'all find out about number 8. Y'all got to watch that there. Somebody asked me to tell a story. It's a true story right across the street up here.
What is your
There used to be a dime store. I don't know what it was, McClellan's or what was it? Was it McClellan's? Well, around Christmas time, down on the Mill Hill, it was different than any place in the world. The Mill Hill at Christmas was different. You could smell it. We had cedar trees. We went out and cut them down and carried them home and put them up, and that's what your Christmas lights, you hung them on. And you could smell those things. At the mill, where Mother and Daddy worked, at the Y, we had Christmas Day. We had Santa Claus. And you went down to the mill and they had bags down there and they was filled with candy, fruit, nuts, and there was some toys in there. That was a wonderful time. You went down there. But I never could understand why at Christmas you had things that you never had the rest of the year. Now I love fruitcake. I don't care if it's July, May, or what, I like fruitcake. And chocolate covered cherries. You can't get no chocolate covered cherries except at Christmas. You ain't never seen no chocolate covered cherries nowhere. But they was one thing that I liked better than anything at Christmas. I didn't really know what it was. I know what my mom and daddy told me it was. But I was older when I found out what it really was. It was chocolate covered Brazil nuts. But that ain't what we call them. And I love them things. Well, you never did have no money to buy anything, but at Christmas when it got cold, people started killing hogs. They killed hogs around Christmas time and started having ham and sausage and stuff ready for Christmas. Well, there was a place down on Victor, down on the corner of Snow Street, Hogfoot Inn.